Hello and welcome to Friday's Granada Reports.
Good evening. Here's what's coming up on tonight's programme.
The couples sharing their heartbreaking stories of loss and how their rainbow babies have helped them look to the future.
It just fills you with so much hope and knowing that there is a light at that very dark tunnel.
The row in our most famous seaside town after claims an 11-year-old boy is leading a crime spree there.
A big rise in demand for some very special dogs. A charity asks for the public's help.
A 29-year wait is over for the Aces. They're live with us tonight.
I'll be backstage at the National Television Awards with these guys. Show us your guns, lads!
And as far as this weekend's weather goes, lots of low pressure on the chart, but what does it mean for your weekend's weather? All the details in just a few minutes.
Well, first tonight, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. The message from two sets of parents who have experienced the unimaginable pain of losing a baby.
Amy and Martin and Megan and Jack spent time at Royal Preston Hospital's bereavement suite last year after losing their babies.
Well, just over a year later, they've gone on to have what are known as rainbow babies, a child born after the loss of another.
The couples have shared their stories with us for Baby Loss Awareness Week about how their rainbow babies are both a symbol of hope and a reminder of past heartbreak.
A warning, there are details and images in Zoe Muldoon's report you may find upsetting.
Lovely to meet another couple, like, even with a different story though as well, but then you can still relate to some parts and relate to your emotions and stuff, and yeah, it is nice to talk.
These new parents have only just met, but already have plenty to talk about. Amy, Martin, Megan and Jack have all spent time in this bereavement suite at Royal Preston Hospital after going through the heartache of losing a baby. But they also have something else uniting them. They're rainbow babies.
Your other little baby wouldn't want you to miss out on all this.
Just as rainbows appear after a storm, the term rainbow baby symbolises a healthy child that's born after the loss of another. In April last year, Amy and Martin's son Louis passed away 2 days after his birth. The couple spent 4 precious days with him at Royal Preston Hospital.
It was the best 4 days of our life.
I mean, we got him christened here. The chaplains, they came up to the neonatal unit, and obviously people never met him because of COVID, but they still talk about him, which is even better.
Amy gave birth to Nathaniel 3 months ago. While overjoyed that their baby boy was healthy, both parents struggled with feelings of guilt.
I could hold him and kiss him and all the stuff that I couldn't do before. The pain's never going to go away. It just fills you with so much hope and knowing that there is a light at that very dark tunnel. And if it's a rainbow baby, then you should be so proud to walk around and show him off, and we did. I'm always doing it.
Megan and Jack's baby, Ophelia, is 1 week old. But just over a year ago, their daughter Cassidy was stillborn.
I was frozen. I was with my mum. I just remember she ran out the room screaming, crying. I was just like staring into space, like absolutely frozen. I'd not processed it.
The couple were able to spend time with Cassidy at the bereavement suite thanks to a cuddle cot, which preserves a baby's body for up to 5 days.
It was really nice, really painful at times. Obviously, you'd have little moments where you're thinking,
we're not going to be able to bring her home.
We're not going to take her home, but at the same time, it was nice to make memories with her.
What's it like being back in this room where you spent those 6 days with Cassidy?
For us to be able to walk into this room and not have like a breakdown today, I think speaks volumes for how well they cared for us.
Rainbow baby Ophelia is happy and healthy, but Cassidy is never far from their thoughts.
Being happy about having her here when my other child's not, it's a strange feeling to feel happy about that.
This time a year ago, we were sat in this room thinking there's probably certainly not seeing any light at the end of the tunnel, but we know our light at the end of the tunnel sat right there, cooing away.
Both couples want to end the stigma around baby loss and have been fundraising for Baby Beat, a charity for Royal Preston Hospital's maternity unit. Bereavement midwife Claire Braithwaite says attitudes are changing for the better.
All parents want to talk about their baby, and if their baby has died, please still ask them those same questions. And if the parents don't want to talk about them, that's absolutely fine, but they'll be ever so grateful that you gave them the opportunity.
Amy, Martin, Megan and Jack hope other families will take comfort from their experiences. Their rainbow babies helping them weather the storm. Zoe Muldoon, ITV News, Preston.
And if you've been affected by any of the issues in our report tonight, then itv.com/Granada has information on where to find help. And thank you to both couples there to be so brave to talk about stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, next this evening, to controversy in Blackpool after MPs were told that a boy of 11 was the ringleader of a crime spree in the town.
Conservative Scott Benton said the boy was responsible for more than 80 offences, but Blackpool Council aren't happy with his comments.
Emma Sweeney has the story.
Well, this all started yesterday when Scott Benton took to the floor of the House of Commons to raise concerns about a group of youths, the ringleader of which he says is an 11-year-old boy. Now, right now we're in the centre of Blackpool, and the areas of concern are Talbot and Brunswick. They're not really too far away, and it's alleged this group of youngsters have been running roughshod over these areas for the last few years. In fact, so bad is it that some people are apparently too scared to even leave their homes, and yet despite all of this, the MP says not enough is being done to tackle it because the council is too afraid to criminalise them.
Police are doing everything they can to try and resolve this situation, but they need the council to join in with their coordinated approach to tackle this. The child have a child-centred policy, but I'm afraid if you're a disabled person who's too scared to leave your house because of the problems this is creating, that isn't good enough. They need assurance the council are joining with the police to address this.
The council has no powers that we can in any way veto or inhibit what action the police take, nor would we wish to do so. We have an excellent working relationship with the police.
OK, well, that is what the council and the MP have to say, but what about local people? Well, earlier on, I took to the streets to ask some of them.
They're a nightmare. The kids are a nightmare. They hassle everybody. They took my scooter over the other night, put it on its side.
We don't know what situation those kids are in, but we do know that they are terrorising the area. If they had a place to go to express those emotions in a correct way, it'd be a better neighbourhood.
It's a big issue. It's always been an issue ever since I was young up till now. I'm terrified to walk anywhere, even at night.
But tonight we also have a statement from the police who told us that they continue to work with their partners to address antisocial behaviour, and they say they've also got an increased police presence in these areas. Now, this is a conversation that I think will be ongoing really for some time. The leader of the House of Commons, Penny Mordaunt, has encouraged Scott Benton to seek a debate on antisocial behaviour and the best ways to tackle it.
Emma Sweeney reporting there from Blackpool. More of the day's news now, and dock workers in Liverpool have announced they'll stage 2 more weeks of strike action as the row over pay and jobs continues. Unite the Union say around 600 workers will walk out again in 10 days' time. Operators Peel Ports say they're disappointed the union aren't allowing for a secret ballot on their final offer of 10.2%.
Lancashire County Council has written to the government to ask that any decision on fracking is made on a local level. The letter asks for a commitment that any planning permission for the drilling of shale gas is permitted by the council. They say that this is so that the fracking sites will be where there are areas of local community support.
Now, we all know about guide dogs, who give vital support to people who are visually impaired. But there are also hearing dogs to assist people who have difficulty with everyday tasks because of their reduced hearing.
Yeah, demand for them has increased since the COVID lockdowns, when many hearing impaired people felt isolated. So there's a big drive to get more trained up, as Joshua Stokes has been finding out.
For Christine, Jessie is more than just her pet. She's specially trained as her hearing dog.
Jessie alerts me to sounds that I can't hear, and she will tell me about the doorbell, telephone, cooker timer, microwave. She'll tell me if the smoke or fire alarm is ringing. Being deaf is very isolating, and it causes depression and anxiety, and she is my confidence and emotional support as well.
That support comes directly from the Hearing Dogs charity, and at this church in Cheshire,
Good boy, that's it, and asking for a sit.
puppy training is well underway.
Beautiful.
Volunteers are making sure these dogs are ready for every environment.
You go to training once a week at the hall, and then gradually you get taught more things to teach the puppies. I've trained 3 dogs, and I know all the recipients now. I've met all of them, and their lives have totally changed.
But due to the pandemic, the charity has seen a large increase in the demand for dogs.
Currently, we are looking to recruit more volunteer puppy trainers across Greater Manchester, Cheshire and North Staffordshire to take on more of our pups, either on a full-time basis or also on a holiday cover basis too.
An appeal to all in the Northwest to support this vital work, which gives people like Christine the chance to leave loneliness behind. Joshua Stokes, ITV News.
Next this evening, they have toured around the US over a dozen times, but they've never played a gig in any of their hometowns' iconic venues.
Our latest introducing are Boston Manor, an alternative punk band who've grown up together in Blackpool.
Their 4th album is out today, which has some intensely personal songs, as they've been telling Elaine Wilcox.
This is Boston Manor's latest album, Datura, with the heartbeat of their hometown running through it.
It's got a story. It's set over the period of one evening, sort of in our hometown, Blackpool, where we are right now. It's a dark record, I'm not going to lie to you. It's sort of about addiction and internal strife and loneliness, but this is only the first half of it.
It's 2 p.m. We just woke up. My skin is crawling out, feeling rough. The daylight slowly drips away.
Some of the songs are intensely personal experiences. How difficult then is it to play those songs to an audience every night?
I kind of did a lot of stock taking over the pandemic and kind of realised that I wasn't really doing very well, mentally speaking, and in voicing those kind of concerns, you can sometimes make sense of them yourself.
It's like a release, isn't it?
This was that, but making a record.
So you've toured the States 13 times, across Europe, going into the Far East. When you say where you're from, what's the reaction?
Anytime I think I've mentioned that we're from a town called Blackpool, all Americans seem to be like really infatuated with like the where we're from, the name of it. They're like, that sounds really cool. That sounds like a really cool place. I'm like, I mean, it is really cool. It's definitely probably not what you have in your mind, but you know, it's home.
They're a band of 5 with Jordan on drums and 2 brothers on the guitar and bass.
The fact that there is a family element to the band has given it a lot of stability, I think, and be nice.
Stability, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
After a decade of touring, they've never played a big hometown gig, but that's about to change.
A big dream would be to play somewhere like, you know, Empress Ballroom or Tower Ballroom. Something of that scale would be a bit of a dream for us.
I like the idea of sort of like 2,000 bewildered Southerners kind of stumbling off the train at Blackpool North, kind of looking for the tower and seeing all these sights for the first time. I think that'd be really cool.
talent about, isn't there?
Well, from punk to sport now, and we'll be looking ahead to a big weekend in the Rugby League and Premier League.
But first, we're celebrating Speedway success. David's here and he's brought some special guests with him. David.
This is a packed studio, isn't it? Not only do we have two champions with us, we also have a trophy and a sombrero. We'll get to all of that and explain all that in just a little minute. But first of all, I mean, let's just show you the moment and just how Bellevue Aces ended their 29-year wait to become Premiership champions. The historic win was sealed in the second leg of their grand final with Sheffield Tigers. It was tight, but in the end, they won by 91 points to 89. Cue those celebrations, and I'm delighted to say that fresh from those celebrations, as well as the Aces team manager Mark Lemon and also one of the riders, Charles Wright. Guys, how does this feel? How was this for you guys? What an achievement. Sum this up for us.
No, it was brilliant after being so long, 29 years. I've been waiting for this trophy, and I was glad to be part of it last night, and no, it's a brilliant feeling.
Mark, this is your fourth grand final in the last 7 years. How does it feel to finally win after all the years of heartbreak and pain?
Quite surreal, to be fair. I didn't think it was going to happen. We come so close, many times, and to put all that hard work in over the years and come up short is pretty hard to take. But last night we clinched it. And it's just not like the 4 times I've been in the grand final. There's been many past teams that have got pretty close in the last 29 years. But for our fans to finally celebrate and feel that, relieve that emotion and anxiety that they've had for so long, it was tremendous. And great scenes last night. The eighth man, as we call them, did an amazing job.
You're the team manager now, but you did ride for the Aces, and this is your beautiful bike, isn't it? But for people who don't know anything about Speedway, it has no gears, no brakes. People come off pretty regularly, and they did in the grand final, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a pretty heated, couple of meetings, the two-legged meetings. There was some spills and thrills, plenty. And we raced around the National Speedway Stadium. And it's one of probably the safest and the most best race circuits in the country, if not the world. But it was intense. The grand final certainly brought an edge to the competition, and it was rough and tough. But like I said, the bikes go from 0 to 60 faster than the Formula 1 car, and they have no brakes. So these boys, they're brave boys.
Charles, you're from Stockport. David's been telling us how Speedway is completely in your blood. Your granddad rode for the Bellevue Aces all the way back in the 1960s. So how does it feel to finally win this trophy?
Yeah, it's massive. It's been a family affair with me and my brother riding for the Aces as well, and growing up as a kid and being a fan since a young age, and being sat here right now and winning the trophy, and no, it's a brilliant feeling for myself and the whole club, the fans and the city, so brilliant.
Tell us about the sombreros, please, and the celebrations. What has it got to do with that?
I think Lemo knows more about the story than me.
Yeah, I think a group of fans started wearing them some years ago, and obviously they started to come back, and obviously we've had a winning team, and they've come out of the neighbourhood, and we've embraced it as a team. And when we win a race, we get a 5-1 when the team on a heat advantage, and they get we class as a 5-1 when they finish first and second. We play the Mexican hat dance, and it's like a real carnival affair, and it's really taken off. And we had the hats out for the celebrations in east of victory, and I'm glad we got to bring them out.
Oh, Mark, I'm going to put you on the spot. Can you just put that hat up for us? Would you mind, just to finish this off, just so we can finish this all off with the hat on?
Just because we won the lead, I do not mind at all.
There we go, guys. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Well, we'll move on to some football news now. Some breaking news. Phil Foden has signed a new contract with Manchester City, keeping him at the club until 2027. City face Liverpool at Anfield on Sunday. Erling Haaland will return for the Blues after being rested in midweek. And despite Liverpool sitting 10th place, 13 points behind City, Pep Guardiola says they're still their main title rivals.
Always have been, always it is and will be, yeah. 10 games left, I would say. I think Liverpool cannot catch the top of the league, in that case Arsenal. But being in the position that we are in the World Cup, still everything can happen.
They are in the moment definitely the best football team in the world. That's how it is. But we will give it a try anyway, knowing there are no guarantees. But we know we get help from a full Anfield, and we try to use that.
Now, it's a huge weekend in rugby league with the start of the Men's World Cup. England kick off the tournament tomorrow against Samoa, and Sam Tompkins will captain his country, and the Wiganer hope success for the host nation will help to grow the sport in this country.
I think it'd boom rugby league in England. We've got a great product, a great sport, and we just want more eyes on it. You know, we want it to grow, and I believe, you know, an England team being successful and winning a World Cup, well, that'd be the best way to catapult rugby league in this country.
Yeah, come on, England, and you can watch our preview to the World Cup on our website. Go to itv.com/Granada. Well, finally, to the Northwest Horse, going for glory on Britain's richest race day. Brad the Brief runs in the Sprint Stakes at Royal Ascot tomorrow. There's a whopping £4 million prize pot on offer at the Kipco Champions Day. Now, Brad would be the biggest winner for trainer Hugo Palmer since he moved north to run Michael Owen's Manor House stables earlier this year.
Michael twisted my arm and he's very persuasive. I said no to him a few times and he said, well, how about if we did this and how about if we did that? And I still said no, and eventually we agreed, and I'm really, really glad.
Yes, good luck to them. And that is all your sport from tonight with the bike, the champs, the trophy. I just want to rev it, but I'd be rubbish and I'm going to break the bike, so I'm going to leave it well alone.
You can't take the bike home, David. David, cheers. Thank you, mate. Now, the stars were out in full force last night as they celebrated the very best of British television.
Yes, and with the absence of the usual kings of the NTAs, Geordie duo Ant and Dec, who were forced to miss the event due to COVID, there was a new king on the carpet.
Yes, in the shape of Mark Charnock from Bolton. He picked up his very first National Television Award for portraying Marlon Stroke in Emmerdale, and the actual king sent a message too.
Our entertainment correspondent Caroline Whitmore was there.
Well, it's TV's biggest night of the year, of course, the National Television Awards. So who brought home the gongs to the Northwest? Paddy Beaver, you are up for Rising Star Award. What do you think your chances are of winning?
I have absolutely no idea. This is my first awards. Whatever happens, happens.
Paddy
I just don't really understand, but it's an incredible honour.
I'm not going to lie to you, I had to get changed in a disabled toilet in work. So I've literally only just come off the radio. I'll be back home soon. Up the Clarets.
Can Corrie win again this year? I know you won last year.
Just got out of the car there, and the first person we see is Granada. Yeah. And we were talking about Granada in the car, no joke.
We were.
Good things, I hope.
Good things. I was saying that people are fond of the regions. Anyway, what's the question? So we've got a 1 in 4 chance. That's the answer.
Joel Dommett, have you had your nervous wee yet?
Oh, I'm saving it. I'm saving it up. It's a full bladder. It's such an amazing night, and that's what I find really difficult, is like enjoying it.
In for a penny, I love it. I love it how you're slightly inappropriate at times.
Excuse me?
And it's just like the kids are like, what?
Excuse me, what? I have no idea what you're talking about.
And I'm gutted you've not got your gold jacket.
But have I got gold anywhere else?
Inappropriate, what did I say?
What?
Now, I know you're in Emmerdale, but you're also from Bolton. Do you think you can win this evening Best Serial Drama Performance?
No.
Mark Charnock!
I've got to tell you, I thought 4th is good. 4th's great. I'm really pleased with 4th. The British public have shocked me.
Your Lifetime Achievement Award. Well done, Sir Lenny Henry.
Thank you very much. Started off on ITV, so it's a big thing to be here tonight and to kind of have a prize that Ant and Dec don't have.
Ant and Dec! We're back.
We're back. Stephen Mulhern accepting the award for Best Presenter.
Nation's favourite presenter, Stephen Mulhern. That's what it says.
21 consecutive years.
Oh, I'm over the moon. No, listen, look, the boys know they're going to get it.
Because that isn't your award, I've got you a goodie bag.
Are you serious?
There's a Mars bar in there.
Are you joking
No,
me?
eat it. Have it.
And there's a sandwich.
I know.
There's no food here as well.
That's my tea.
I'm lucked out. Loving you. Yes!
Who needs that when you've got
You
that?
know what? You have that. I'll have that. Lovely jump.
Martin Lewis.
Brought up in the Northwest around Delamere Forest. TV expert, winner.
Incredibly chuffed. I mean, Sir David Attenborough is a living legend. To win and to be voted ahead of him is an incredible compliment.
Emmerdale won!
a message from the King as well. That was pretty special.
On a daily basis, Emmerdale continues to depict what life is really like.
And there's only one theme tune tonight, isn't there?
I'm still waiting for my invitation. Lost in the post.
Love them all. Congratulations.
Where's
the
my
weather
invitation?
Now. Here's James.
Why do I need a shower? I've been out in the rain.
The faster you go, the sooner you'll be out. You'll save water too.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Hello there, good evening. A weekend of two halves ahead of us, a rather showery Saturday and hopefully a little more settled on Sunday. Tomorrow's showery weather driven by a whole load of low pressure systems driving these bands of quite organised showers, some of which are set to be a little bit on the heavy side. Good news is, well, it's sort of good news, next low pressure system just developing out in the southwest approaches, and fingers crossed that will push through Sunday night into Monday. As far as tonight goes, then a few more showers to drift through, one or two sharp ones. We've got this southerly breeze though, so it's going to keep it on the mild side, some of us staying in double figures, and it means that we've got this next band of organised showers with us fairly early on Saturday. They should push off quite nicely. The breeze is going to pick up, which will be a noticeable feature through Saturday, but it does mean that any showers should be fairly short-lived throughout the day. Hopefully some sunny spells in between, and whilst it will be a little bit cooler and fresher than today with highs of 12 to 14 Celsius, if you can stay in a sunny spell, it won't feel too bad. I did promise a slightly better weather on Sunday, and that's because, yes, we've got this low pressure system lurking out towards the southwest. Creates this sort of tiny little ripple of high pressure across us. So Sunday's actually not looking too bad. Bit of a southerly breeze, could get above 14 Celsius here and hopefully get some decent sunny spells. Like I say, we'll see some wet weather Sunday night into Monday, but that will clear. Maybe a bit of a breezy day on Monday, but at least it's coming in from a westerly direction. And then as we head towards Tuesday, not looking too bad. More sunny spells, relatively mild, and hopefully not too breezy. Have a great weekend.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
I think we should aim to get a bike in the studio every week.
He says he wants to ride it home. I'm firmly staying here.
Do you not fancy it?
No, not at all. It's got no brakes,
so much fun.
no gears. You're the father of two young children.
Yeah.
Leave it.
That's why it'd be fun and exciting.
It's beautiful, though, isn't it? Thank you all for bringing them in, bringing that bike in. Next week, the couple celebrating after winning a £250,000 house in a raffle that's helping a Lancashire hospice.
For now, many thanks indeed for watching. Bye-bye.